Hey guys, for this episode, I want to talk about this week's been crazy, okay? This week's been totally crazy. I'm just going to get to it. Uh, it's been wild. Um, I attended a summit, okay? It's called the Voice Summit in Newark, New Jersey. I got to go to some of the events in the evenings because I was working during the daytime. And I just have to say that it was an incredible experience. And I want to say thematically, something that I just think is so important in life is our relationships to people, not just our friends, not just our family, but the connections we make along the way with people who are like-minded, who are energetic, who have great ideas. Because in this life, our trajectory and our opportunities are really impacted by those people that we associate ourselves with. I think you've heard it before, but there's this often used, I believe it's Jim Rohn quote, you are a combination of the five people you associate yourself with. So, I think that's a little bit of a generalization, but the point being is that when we associate ourselves with specific individuals, they can really impact our thinking, our belief system, the ability for us to take action. So when you meet people who are gems, people who are positive, people who are inspirational, it can really change your trajectory. So when I went to the summit, I feel like that really impacted me a lot. The connections I had made at this voice conference. To give you guys a little bit of background, the Voice Summit is a yearly event, and basically it brings together all of the top individuals in the voice space. Specifically, they had keynote speakers, innovators, and it was this space to bring together all of these voice enthusiasts. Voice technology is that interactive piece that we're moving towards on things such as Alexa and Google Home and Samsung Bixby that allows you to interact with these devices in order to get what you want using just your voice. It is one of the fastest moving pieces of technology we've ever seen, honestly, in humanity. I mean, especially with now how everything's connected, it is just moving at an incredible pace, and for good reason. I mean, if you use your voice for anything, right? That's how we actually interact in real life. It's the way that we ask for something. It's the way we communicate. It's the way we tell stories. It is part of the human tradition to use our voice, and this technology takes it to the next level. I met so many people at this conference. I want to mention a few because I just think they were such key connections. And I just know that, again, this is going to really influence myself moving forward. I want to send out a special thanks to Scott and Susan Westwater from Pragmatic Digital. They have this company that basically helps people navigate the difficulties of implementing voice into their companies. And they are, as their name suggests, very pragmatic, practical, and understanding that when you have a brand or an established presence, you're going to need to implement voice in a strategic way. So I really love what they're doing there. And, Scott and Susan are amazing. They're doing a great job in the space. Really excited for what they're doing. Terry Fisher, I actually met him in real life after having him on the podcast. He has an Alexa in Canada skill, Voice First Health, and other podcasts as well as his flash briefing. And if you guys don't know what flash briefings are, that's probably something I'll probably talk about in the future. But Terry's amazing. He gave several talks as well, and very immersed in the space. And I'm really excited to collaborate with him and connect with him on several other projects. Sarish, I'm not going to even go and try to say his last name. I don't want to butcher it. But Sarish runs the Medicine Remix podcast. He's an orthopedic surgeon, and he's also immersing himself in voice. He created a knee arthroscopy skill on Alexa that basically helps patients after they're getting their knee arthroscopy performed. It's basically questions that the patient can ask the skill in order to be informed, right? Because whenever there's a procedure, people will often have similar questions. Well, why not develop a program that can teach them after their procedures? I think it's a very intelligently designed skill. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I know that this type of skill is going to be really powerful in the future and obviously empower patients and educate them. I want to send out some love to Brett Adler. Brett Adler is very prolific in the Twitter space when it comes to voice, and a lot of the healthcare specialists as well. And he is, I feel like, one of the connectors when it comes to the community. And Brett also helped design a skill specifically to essentially help him get through specific exercises that he had when he had an injury. When you injure yourself, you're going to need to perform specific physical therapy exercises and trainings after a procedure. And he developed a skill to essentially tell him what exercise to do and for how long to perform the exercises. So very intelligent sort of use case of taking a medical issue or taking a physical issue and empowering yourself to be more motivated by creating a skill to really teach you how to use, or not teach you, but time you and motivate you to do your exercises. So Brett Adler, kudos to that skill as well. I'll definitely put the name of these skills in the show notes, so you guys can check that out as well. I also want to send out a special thank you to Chitra Durgam. She is a dentist, and she is really well known in the social media space. She was actually mentioned in the book Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. She's amazing. We're working on a project together, and it's amazing to actually meet her in person. I have to say that there's certain people in your life that, again, you just click. That they're dreamers, that they're inspirational. And when I connected with Chitra, I knew that she had that fire in her, and I know that she wants to do big things just like I do and just like we do. So very amazing to meet with her. And I know that this is a connection that's going to go pretty deep as we develop lots of opportunities for others. So guys, I know, again, you probably didn't have too much context on these individuals, but this episode is really about those connections. This episode is really about those networking pieces, because together, I know it's cliche, but as the word team suggests, together everyone achieves more. It's so true. You can do so much more when you have a team behind you. You can do so much more when you have that belief behind you, when you have that positive flow of energy, when you have those connections that you can reach out to. That networking piece is so important. And in medicine, I feel like we're isolating ourselves. We're losing our connections. So if anything, this episode is an emphasis on really going deep and connecting to your community. This is something I lost for a long time, and it's just so important. We're only on this earth for a certain period of time, and these connections are just incredibly important. I send lots of love to everyone. Team Voice Summit, you've been amazing. Shout out to Team Voice Flow. I got hooked up with an amazing hat from them. Also, a group to check out because they make it easier for you to create skills like on Alexa and these Google platforms. So shout out to Voice Flow. And guys, I have so much to talk about this week. Literally, it was crazy. I have so many things spinning around in my head of ideas to talk about things that I need to be building. And it's just an incredible time to be a part of Voice. It's an incredible time to be in the entrepreneur space. It's an incredible time to be a part of healthcare. And I think we're moving into a very interesting direction when it comes to technologies and helping out a lot of people. If you're at all curious in learning more, please reach out to me. All of our social media channels are at Happy Doc Podcast. You can send us an email at thehappydoc1@gmail.com. And as always, guys, the best way to support us is to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. I sincerely appreciate your time. I thank you so much, and I wish you an amazing day. Take care.